Hi, good morning everyone. I hope all of you are fine. Stay home, stay healthy. Do you know me? Okay, let me introduce myself. I am your Sangeeta ma'am. I know all of you have done a lot of work during this long vacation. Some of you have drawn good pictures, some of you have painted, some of you have even planted seeds, and of course some of you have read stories. How many of you have read stories from your English 2 book? Today I would like to teach you the first chapter of your English 2 book, and the chapter's name is What's Your Dream? But before I begin, I'd like to ask you, what's your dream? You just think about it, and after the end of this class, I'd like to take you a piece of paper and write what's your dream and why you think it's so special to you. So without wasting much time, let's begin our chapter. This chapter is written by our famous author Ruskin Bond. This story is about a young boy who liked spending time sitting on a tree. He had a dream but didn't realize that until one day someone happened to ask him about it. Let us read the story to find out what his dream was. An old man, a beggar, bent double with a flowing white beard and piercing grey eyes. What's the meaning of piercing? Showing keen intelligence. Stopped on the road on the other side of the garden wall and looked up at me. At me means at the child who was sitting on the lychee tree, where I sat on something high or narrow on the branch of a lychee tree. What's your dream? He asked. Who asked? The beggar asked the boy what his dream was. It was a startling question. Startling means very surprising. It was a very surprising question for the boy, and it was asked by a beggar, and that too in English. In those days, beggars speaking English was rare to find. What's your dream? He repeated again. Again the beggar asked the boy, what's your dream, my boy? The boy was speechless. He said, I don't remember. I don't think I had a dream last night. Now he says that he did not have a dream last night. But the beggar says, I don't mean that. You know, it isn't what I mean. I can see you are a dreamer. Again and again, the beggar says the boy, you say me correctly what is your actual dream. And the boy is not understanding his question properly. Other boys didn't dream. They had catapults. Now the beggar says the boy that other boys are not dreamer like you. They are having catapults with them. Now what's the meaning of catapults? Catapults are the stick shape, like a Y with a rubber band attached to it for throwing stones. A dream, my boy, is what you want most in life. Isn't there something that you want more than anything else? Now the beggar wants to explain his question. Explain the boy about what a dream was. Yes, I said promptly. Now the boy says immediately, a room of my own. Now the boy understood the beggar's question, what the meaning of dream was. Now the boy's dream was to have a room of his own. Ah, a room of your own? A tree of your own? It's the same thing. Not many people can have their own rooms, you know. Now the beggar says, yes, correct. Not many people have their own Rooms, personal rooms, not in a land as crowded as ours. As a country like ours having too much population, we can't expect to have our single room. That is not possible for each and every family. Just a small room. And what kind of room do you live in at present? Now the beggar again asks the boy, what kind of room you are living in, my boy? It's a big room, but I have to share it with my brothers and sisters and even my aunt when she visits. Now the boy says that he is living in a room where he has to share his room with his brother, sister and also the visitors who sometimes come in their house to visit. I see. What you really want is freedom. Now the beggar understood that the boy wants something, and what was that? That was freedom. Your own tree, your own room, your own small place in the sun. Yes, that's all. Now they are agreeing. That's all? That's everything. When you have all that, you will have found your dream. And when you get to your own room, you will find that yes, you are satisfied and you have got whatever you wanted for. Tell me how to find it. Now the child curiously asks the beggar that how to fulfill the dream. Now the child was so much quenching with the question and he wants the answer to his question. There is no magic formula, my friend. Now the beggar, says the boy, there is no such magic formula. If I were a godman, would I be wasting my time here with you? You must work for your dream and move towards it all the time. And discard all those things that come in the way of finding it. Now the beggar gives him some suggestions how to fulfill his dream. Perhaps the beggar was an experienced one, it seems. Now let's come to the story and step by step we will find that is it true or not. How come the beggar know all these things? And then here comes a very important line. If you don't expect too much too quickly, you will find your freedom, a room of your own. The difficult time comes afterwards. Afterwards? Yes, because it's so easy to lose it all. Now the beggar wants to make him understand, make the child understand that too much greed for something leads to ruin. Yes, that's true. If you become greedy or careless and start taking everything for granted and proof, suddenly the dream has gone and vanished. How do you know all this? I asked. Now the boy asked again the beggar that, but how you know all these things? Because I had my dream and lost it. And now here comes the most beautiful line. What the beggar says. He says that yes, he had once everything and now he lost each and everything and now he is just a poor beggar. Yes, just look at me now, my friend. Do I look like a king or a godman? Perhaps the beggar was a king or godman, who knows. I had everything I wanted, but then I wanted more and more. Now he gives a clue that if you want more and more of something, then you will lose everything. You get your room and then you want a building. Now he says the child that it may happen that you get your room, that was your dream, and now you are expecting for a building. And when you have your building, you want your own territory. And when you have your own territory, you want your own kingdom. That is exactly the human tendency. We are never satisfied with what we have. We are always after something after. We are always having greediness, and all the time it's getting harder to keep everything. And when you lose it, in the end, all kingdoms are lost. You don't even have your room anymore. Did you have a kingdom? Something like that. Now again the child asks the beggar, did you ever have your kingdom? Now the beggar says, you think that something I had like that, similar to kingdom, but I don't have it now anymore. Follow your own dream, boy, but don't take other people's dream. You please follow your own dream. Don't take other people's dream. Don't stand in anyone's way. Don't take from another man his room or his faith or his song. And he turned and shuffled away, intoning the following verse. And then after saying these all things, the beggar moved on smoothly. Perhaps he had some problem in his leg and he was not able to walk properly, and that's why he was walking slowly without lifting his feet completely. And see what the stanzas are written. Live long, my friend, be wise and strong, but do not take from any man his song. You have to fulfill your own dream, and while doing that, don't snatch the things from others. I remained on the lychee tree. Now the boy is telling about himself, that he remained on the lychee tree after listening all these things from the beggar, and pondering his wisdom and wondering how a man so wise could be so poor. And he was again and again thinking that how a man who was so rich can be so poor again. Perhaps he became wise afterwards. He thought perhaps he became wise afterwards. Who? The beggar. Anyway, he was free and I was free. And I went back to the house and demanded. And he went back to his own house. The boy went back to his own house and he demanded for a room. And he got it. Freedom, I was beginning to realize, is something you have to insist upon. Now he began to realize that is it what he demanded forcefully. So here we come to the end of the chapter, and it was a very interesting chapter, and I think all of you have enjoyed. So go through the chapter again and again, read again and again, go through the word meanings, and we will meet soon. Till then, goodbye. Take care of yourself. Stay safe. Stay healthy.